Let's go back to our breaking news. Saudi Arabia confirming the death of Jamal Khashoggi. Saudi state-run media saying Khashoggi died after a fistfight in their consulate in Istanbul back on October 2nd. The Saudis saying 18 people have been arrested in connection with the death. Joining me now to discuss the latest on the case of Jamal Khashoggi is Muslim scholar and author Dr. Qanta Ahmed. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure.
I mean, this is just breaking now. You believe this may have been an interrogation gone horribly wrong.
I mean, I think it's certainly reasonable. First of all, what an enormous relief everyone is feeling that the Saudis have admitted that he did die. He did die in the consulate, and I think that's very good that they've done that. I do believe Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is an incredibly intelligent person. I can't imagine that he would have ordered an assassination, let alone of this nature. But certainly, was Khashoggi likely to have been marked for extraordinary rendition? Yes. And during rendition, often they use sedation, and things can go wrong. There may have been a scuffle. So this does sound quite plausible.
All right. I mean, the Saudi Arabia has a history of harassment or worse for dissidents who are critical of the government.
Well, Derek, let's be clear.
Yeah.
I don't regard Khashoggi as a dissident.
Okay.
Even his fiancée wrote that he wouldn't describe himself as a dissident, that he was a patriot. He was very much involved with the Saudi establishment. He had the shelter of two of the most powerful princes, including the head of Saudi intelligence, Prince Turki Al Faisal, for decades. So he's not a dissident. I think the dissidents take far greater risks than he did. But yes, he was treading on perilous ground. He criticized both the royal family while being an insider, and he was enamored with the Muslim Brotherhood ideology in Islamism. His fiancée is actually a diplomat and very close to the lieutenants in power around Erdogan. So he was leaving the kingdom and literally marrying into some of the leading Muslim Brotherhood patrons today.
But, you know, some of the critics, even as the story's breaking, are already out critical of this story. A fistfight leading to a death, reports of a buzzsaw being involved to dismember his body. A lot of people are not sitting well with this explanation.
I understand that. And I think part of this is the success of the drip narrative that Turkey has relished in the last 14 days or so, when Turkey could have released those tapes to the United States. And that really should pique our interest. What was Turkey trying to do? Lead a very favorable narrative that benefits Turkey, Qatar, and Iran at the expense of humiliating Saudi Arabia and, frankly, humiliating our president here in the United States. So, yes, people are not liking this narrative, but until we objectively identify what actually happens, we don't know. I think it's great the kingdom has accepted he died, that the death was unintentional, and it was during an interrogation. Those are all good acknowledgements.
So does this now put the U.S. and President Trump in a quandary here of what to do with this information, what to do going forward, or are we going to have to wait, as the Saudi government seems to be asking for more time to bring out the full facts here? I
think President Trump has actually played this quite well, even though he's under tremendous criticism here in the United States for anything he does. But I would say that the wise thing is to step back. We should recognize Mohammed bin Salman is the most powerful royal family member in decades. Nobody has accumulated the amount of power he has as crown prince. He's likely to be a monarch for 50 years. That's quite likely. So this is going to be a key ally. This also gives Saudi Arabia an ability to execute justice. I do use that word deliberately. I think members of that so-called wrong-headed kill team will face the death penalty in the kingdom, and quite rapidly. And then the kingdom will regain face, regain balance, and the United States should use this currency, this political capital, to move ahead on anti-Iran measures, to move ahead on putting pressure on Israel-Palestine peace process, and to hopefully get a little bit more stabilization in the conflict with Yemen and pull the kingdom out of an endless conflict there.
But you would say that, I mean, there are really no winners here. I mean, we've got the death of this journalist, a lot of questions for Saudi Arabia, and then what does the U.S. do here?
So I would correct you. There are winners. Really? I think Qatar has been a tremendous winner. I think Turkey's been a winner. Turkey's currency just dropped 40%. Turkey's probably enacted some economic benefits from Saudi Arabia. Turkey may place pressure now on Saudi Arabia to patch up the fractured GCC and let Qatar back into the fold. And Turkey gets to look like this this champion of journalists, when Turkey is rated by the World Press Freedom as 157 out of 180 nations, the world's largest open-air prison for journalists is what the World Press Freedom Index has said about it.
And Khashoggi had written about it as well.
And that's what's so strange, that Khashoggi was associating with one of the most repressive states towards journalists.
Right.
Lots of inconsistencies.
All right, Dr. Qanta Ahmed, thank you so much for your insight. We'll be talking about this in the days ahead for sure.